On the
No,
bottom next to the
at the
first
bottom.
ring.
Okay. Do you guys see like a red dot anywhere?
No, it's not a red dot. It's a white dot.
Okay.
It says
Oh, on
it's
the
recording
screen?
up there.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
recording.
Cool. Okay. So like I said, thank you guys for coming to our NUPiC Summer Involvement Fair. I hope that in the next 15 to 20 minutes or so, we can give you guys a good overview of what to expect this year. I think a good way to start is we're going to go over really briefly who we are as a club, what we normally do in the year in a normal semester, and then how things are going to be changing with COVID-19. Joining us in this call today is me. My name is Yuvan. I am the president of NUPiC. We also have Satakshi. She is our vice president, followed by Sean, who is our finance advisor and our website coordinator. And then we also have Kyler, who is our outreach director. Okay, so in order to start things off, I'm going to move on to who we are as a club. And for that, I'm going to pass this off to Sean.
All right. So basically, we are like the only photography club at Northeastern, and it's like basically a physical forum and a social environment for photography enthusiasts. And we have members of all skill levels, from people who just got their DSLR or even like a point and shoot to actual like professionals with a lot of followers on Instagram and like their own photography website. And that's our mission statement. It's to create a friendly community for Northeastern student photographers to learn and develop their skills and teach basic skills of photography, where we host little, meetings where we teach about like basics and composition, lightroom editing, etc. And we'll move on to the next slide.
Okay, so now that you guys know really briefly about who we are as an organization, let's go into what we normally do in a given year. In a normal year, our activities are split into two main categories. The first one is a bi-weekly meeting system. And here we meet, every other week in a weekday. It's usually Wednesdays or Thursdays at 6 p.m., so very close to the time that we are right now. And the things that we do in a meeting can be split into three basic categories. The first and most common thing that we do is workshops. Here we basically have the e-board, give you guys a presentation and teach you guys really basic concepts in photography, such as composition or Lightroom editing, or sometimes we do portrait studio tutorials as well. And then we teach that to you guys to the best of our knowledge. The other thing that we started doing just last year, in fact, is photo critiques, which we do about once a month or so. Here, the idea is that at the end of the month, we have a call for submissions in which all members of NUPiC can send in 1 or 2 photos, and then we curate about a dozen of them that we can go over within a 1-hour period. And then we put these up one by one on the board with the club during our meeting, and then we give feedback on what we like, what we don't like, what we can improve upon, and how we could have done things differently, and like, bounce ideas off of each other. A really cool thing about this option is that we also have a partnership with IG Boston, which is a community of professional photographers in the Boston area. In fact, the creative director for IG Boston, his name is Mike. He is a Northeastern alumni, and he is very actively not only involved in NUPiC activities, but also very enthusiastic about being a part of and helping to teach this new generation of Northeastern photographers. And so being able to have the opportunity to get a professional take and a professional opinion on your work, I think it's a really tremendous opportunity that you can't get anywhere else. And so that's something that we're really proud to be able to offer to our members. And finally, the last thing that we do, this is some of the more rare things that we do, maybe once or twice a semester, is we have an in-class photo session where instead of workshops or critiques, we just we bring in backdrops, studio lighting, and whatever gear that we can provide from the school. And then we have a portrait session or some sort of photo shoot in our classroom instead of a regular meeting. The other category of things that we do are outings. And here the idea is that we take you guys to random, specifically curated neighborhoods in the Boston area. And we take you guys there for photo shoots because we think that there's a lot of potential and it's very photogenic. And so we take you guys on a guided tour of that area. It's a good way to not only grow your portfolio, but also get more experience, bounce ideas off of other people who are there, who may be more knowledgeable, and learn more tips and tricks from there. It's also a great way to get your 10,000 steps in and a great way to socialize as well. And here you can see a really short list of some of the places that we've been to in previous years. We have usually a set list of places that we want to hit every semester, and then we switch up locations every now and then just to spice things up a bit. With that being said, now we want to move on to how things are going to change because of coronavirus. So everything that I say from here on out, I want you guys to know everything that we say here on out is tentative, because as we've seen in the last few months, lots of things can change pretty quickly. And so we will have to change accordingly based on what is happening in the situation on the ground. So first thing we should point out is that all of our meetings this semester are going to be entirely online. Because of that, we are going to be having less frequent meetings in general. We are aiming for at least one meeting a month. Now, in spite of the fact that there's less frequency in meetings, we want to try and compensate for that by providing a higher caliber, higher quality meeting instead. And the way that we're thinking of doing this right now is that we're thinking of having guest speakers come in these monthly meetings to provide a more professional, a higher level take on how you can improve your photography skills. We've already been talking with Mike from IG Boston in previous semesters about having him teach workshops before. We also have our program advisor. Her name is Andrea Rayner. She is the Dean of the College of Arts and Media Design at Northeastern. She has also stated that she wants to teach classes for NUPiC. And so we're going to be reaching out to them and coordinating and making sure that's possible, but also having sure that we have some workshops that the e-board teaches as well. Now, things like the in-class photo session, we can't really do that online, but we can do some things like the photo critique sessions, and we think we want to still keep on doing that once a month as well. And so we will see how that transpires going forward. The other thing we need to talk about are outings. Now, before I go into this, I want to make sure to emphasize that the overall #1 priority of NUPiC is that we want to provide an experience and opportunities for photographers at Northeastern to learn, but to do it in a way that is safe for everyone involved. If we think we can't do that, then we will not be carrying these out. Just keep that in the back of your minds. Some of the ways that we're going to be making sure that these outings are safe as possible, we want to make sure we are thinking of having these potentially in the first month or two of the semester when we expect coronavirus to not be as severe in the Boston area and our campuses. However, again, things can change, so we're keeping an eye on that as well. One of the things that we're going to be doing to mitigate or to make things safe as possible is that we're going to have signups ahead of time. This has the benefit of making sure we know who is going to be coming to our outings, and also we can limit the amount of people who are coming so that it's a sizable number that we can properly manage and supervise and socially distance at all times. Speaking of social distancing, in our outings, we are going to be mandating social distancing at all times with masks. If you don't want to wear a mask because of your personal freedoms, I can't tell you no, but don't show up to our outings if you're going to do that. You should go to these locations on your own, and we are not going to allow you to come to these outings without it. And as I said before, all of these plans, whether it's outings or other meetings, are going to be subject to change, revision, or even cancellation depending on the situation on the ground. We'll be keeping a close eye on advice from our health guidelines from the city and from the school to see what is the best option, what is the safest option for our student members. And so keep an eye out for that as well. And as you guys have probably noticed, there aren't that many things we could be potentially doing this semester. So to kind of offset that a bit, we are also looking into a third category of events, which is a potential for new online-based events and activities. It's one thing that we've been floating around is having Instagram contests every now and then, and having the winners of these contests be featured on our Instagram page and /or our NUPiC webpage as well. And you will have an opportunity to see that webpage later on in the slide when we give you guys the link as well. So that's all I have right now. I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor soon to a Q&A session. However, before I do that, I also want to, give you guys a link to our email sign-up list. The email sign-up is where's the chat button? There we go. The email sign-up list is the best and primary way in which our members get information about our club and our activities. So even if you guys aren't entirely certain about committing fully to NUPiC, that's totally fine. But you guys can sign up for a mailing list, and we'll send you guys emails every week about what we're going to be doing for that month and how we're going to, where we're going to be going for outings. So that way you can pick and choose what events you want to go to and what not to go to. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that up there. And also, I'm going to now open the floor to Q&A. You guys can go ahead and unmute yourselves and ask questions there, or type questions in the chat, whatever you guys are most comfortable with, and the e-board will take turns answering questions.
And before you all start asking questions, I just wanted to add that we're not as serious as you've made us sound. Everything's very chill here.
Right? Yeah.
We're not it's not we're all kind of. I think we all have different levels of experience, and we all know different things. And it's not there's not a very formal we're telling you to do anything like that. No, it's more of a collaborative space. And we have people taking pictures with iPhones. We have people taking pictures with DSLRs, with mirrorless cameras, with film cameras.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's it's a wide range of people. I just want to make sure everyone is aware of that.
Yeah. That's a very good point. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah,
very collaborative environment.
Yeah, I'm just very forward and formal when I give presentations. But yeah, I promise during the actual events that we do in the year, we are very laid back people. I mean, we want to make this a most welcoming environment as possible for you guys.
Also, one more thing, if you guys want to see examples of what we do, I just linked the website in the comments or the chat, so you can check that out. We're building it, so hopefully our website gets a little more populated as time passes, but that's what we have so far. All right.
Yeah, and feel free to write your questions down in the chat or unmute yourselves.
Have you guys thought of, okay, let's read the questions and then answer so that the recording can know. Have you guys thought of sending small blogs, articles, or helpful tips on iPhone photography in, I'm assuming, the newsletter? Okay, that's a good question. Occasionally, we do send the links about photography in general that we don't normally cover in our workshops, just so that people can have the access to it and look at it in their own free time. If I understand that a lot of people in our club actually do use iPhone photography or smartphone photography. It's a lot more prevalent now, especially since these cameras are getting extremely advanced, even on our phones. So, that's perfectly fine if you want to do that as well. I think that is a good idea that we can look into. We don't currently focus on exclusively sending tips and articles about iPhone photography, but that could be something that we change through this semester as well, based on that suggestion. So thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah, and also one thing I would like to mention is that we have our Facebook group where we post links and any interesting articles that we find. So if you ever find something that you think other people would be interested in, you should definitely go on there and post it.
Right.
I mean, we do, yeah.
Great point as well. And we'll also be linking the Facebook group link at the end of this presentation as well when we share back to the slide. All right, any other questions? So I'm going to assume that, is it fair to say that everyone else, you guys don't have any questions to ask, that we covered everything that you guys want to know?
If you have any other questions after this call, feel free to either just DM us on our Instagram, NUPiC, or send us an email.
Okay. Oh, we do have a question actually. Yeah. If our fall semester are done remotely, who are still allowed to join the club? Great question. So the policy right now is that anybody can, as long as they're Northeastern students, can be a part of the club. We don't really have a concrete requirements or membership fee or anything like that. It's pretty free for people to come and go as they please. Like I said before, I included these sign-up lists for the mailing lists in the chat. If you want to, be a part of the club, all you have to do is sign up, get emails every week, and then when we send the Zoom links over email, just participate and join when you can and whenever you're free to as well. So that's really the only requirement to join. It's just to know where the meetings are going to be, which will be online, over email, basically. We don't have any requirements, and because of the fact that we're going to be doing online Zoom meetings anyways, it wouldn't really matter if you're remote or on campus because you'll be using your laptop anyways. In fact, I am going to be in California throughout this semester, and I'll be running the club virtually online as well. So don't feel like, you're going to be at a disadvantage necessarily just because of that. Great question. Okay, let's give it like a few more seconds for any more questions, and then we can just move on to and wrap up the presentation from there.
If you guys have any more questions after our call, you can go to our website. There's a contact us page. You can email us. You can shoot us a message on Facebook.
So I see another one.
Yeah.
How many members in the club? So our club is actually pretty large. Because our membership requirements are really lax, we have different amounts and groups of people that come to different types of meetings and outings depending on what interests them. So, we've had outings where we've had 30, 40 people, but we've had outings where we've had 5 to 7 people. Like, it's really just dependent on the time and like what works for people and what people are interested in. So yeah, our membership is we have more lax membership standards than some other clubs at Northeastern. So I could not give you an accurate count of how big our membership is.
Right. It's also dependent on what time in the semester you are as well, as Kyler kind of hinted at, right? At the very beginning, like in our introductory meeting for the year, we might have like 100+ people crowded into the room trying to learn about the club. But then as we go on throughout the semester, that will dwindle down as, we have midterms and finals.
Midterms and finals, really. Take everyone's energy levels down sometimes.
Let's see, where can I find the Facebook group so that I can see the link and tips shared by other people?
So
Sean just linked it.
Yeah, it's in the chat. And we'll also have a link for that, link for the email that you can reach out to us at, the website, our Instagram, and that Facebook group at the end. When I'm gonna go back to the slide that we were at and then show us the contact us page for everyone else to look at. Okay, if there aren't any more questions, I think we can go ahead and wrap it up. Is everyone else all right with that?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to this screen. Okay, so I want to wrap this up by saying thank you guys for coming to the introductory session. I know technical difficulties kind of hindered the progress so far, but it wasn't as bad as last time. And it's a slow process that we're learning to get used to as well. So thank you guys for your understanding. I hope this information session was informative and that you guys are interested in coming to NUPiC in the future. And I hope to see you guys there as well. As I promised, here is a contact us page. As you can see, if you have any more questions about NUPiC that say, come up after the meeting and then something just hits you, you can go ahead and email us at nupic4@gmail.com. You can also DM us and follow us on Instagram at NUPiCofficial. And as Sean said before, we have a link for our website that we can go over as well. And Sean designed this about last year. We're pretty proud of it. So go ahead and take a look and be proud of it too, because you guys can be members and you guys can claim ownership as well. And here is the link for the Facebook group as well. In addition, I'm also going to be sending a follow-up email at the end of today with a copy of the slide, along with the sign-up list for the mailing list as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping up. If you guys have any other if you have any other questions, feel free to email us. We are friendly. We don't bite, I swear. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, thank you guys for coming. I hope you guys had a good time here.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a nice day and stay safe, guys. All right. Goodbye.